There are two great things about this e-bike. Number one, at the time of this recording, it only comes in at $800, which is pretty affordable for an e-bike. Number two, this e-bike collapses down into a really small size, so it's very compact and easy to take with you if you want to load it in your car, your truck, or haul it around in your SUV. Look how small that is. So just a rough estimate, not basing this off their website, it looks like it's around 3 feet in length, and then it looks like it's about 1 foot plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inches or so. I don't know. I'm not no carpenter. I don't know how to read this thing that well, but it looks like it's about 3 feet by maybe like 1.5 feet in width, but it's pretty small and condensed. I actually have another folding e-bike, but it's a cargo e-bike, so even folded up, it's a lot bigger. This one, when you fold it up, it's very small size. It can even fit in the trunk of my Avenger, and my Avenger trunk is super small. Random side note, it looked like this butterfly, something bit its wing off. Look at this. Whoa! It was like missing half of its wing or something. Something else I forgot to mention is that this e-bike is by Fifth Wheel. It's the Thunder 2, and I'll put a link to it in the description below if you're actually interested in it. Unfolding it, very simple, as you can see, the process here. Boom. So first, taking a look at some of the features, it does have smaller tires on it. These are 20-inch tires, and I'm not sure on the width, actually. It might be like a 2-inch width, something that's pretty standard for these smaller size tires. But what that does is it makes the overall e-bike feel a little bit shorter, so it's probably gonna be easier to get on and off. Dang, mail lady's cruising today. So taking a look at the handlebars, you can see that it's just a straight handlebar, and I personally prefer when they're a little more curved towards you, so that's a little more commuter friendly and a more comfortable of a ride. But you can see here it has a right-handed thumb throttle, it has a 6-speed Shimano shifter, comes with the bell, comes with mechanical brakes up top here, and then this side is your screen, and so right here is the power button. You can long press to turn it on. Once it turns on, you're gonna see your miles per hour, you're gonna see what pedal assist level you're in right here, and then you can see your trip mileage. And then if you double tap this, it's gonna show you your odometer mileage. I've already rode it 5 miles. And then you can tap this top button to increase pedal assist level higher, and then tap the M to go lower with your pedal assist level. And then also with this display screen here, if you double tap this top button, it's gonna turn on your front headlight, because yes, it has a front headlight integrated into the e-bike, and it does have a rear tail light, but it's not actually integrated into the e-bike. You have to flip this switch on the bottom here to actually turn it on. You can also see on this e-bike that it has fenders on the back tire and front tire, which is nice for keeping the mud off you. And then it also has this spring right here in the middle, this little coil, which is supposed to help with just making it a more comfortable ride. But this e-bike only comes in at $800, so I don't know how well the spring will actually work. We'll have to test it out to see. Now it does have this rear suspension spring, but it doesn't have anything for the front up here, so this will probably be a little more rough up front, but maybe the seat and the cushion and everything will be a little more comfortable. You can also charge your battery right here while it's in the e-bike. You can see that here's the charging port, or you can take your battery out of here by actually unlocking it and taking the battery out, which I always prefer to do that because I like to charge my batteries inside the house because it's better for your batteries. But I don't always love unfolding a bike to be able to get my battery out, so that's something that I'm not the biggest fan of. As far as the brake goes, I feel like this rotor is pretty small, so I don't imagine the braking power will be all that great, but it will still probably get the job done because this is a smaller e-bike. After taking this e-bike for a spin, I want to share some of my thoughts with you about the ride experience. As far as that shock goes that I mentioned earlier, I feel like it's more bouncy and not as cushiony. It definitely does absorb some of the bumps, but it feels more like a spring and a bounce to it rather than like a smooth suspension, if that makes sense in any way. So it's a cool idea to have on the e-bike, but it's not super functional. When it comes to just the overall size, it does feel like a smaller e-bike, so The pedals feel a little bit smaller to rotate. The tires are smaller. It just feels like a smaller e-bike in general. So if you're a larger person, it might just feel a little bit awkward with you. But if you're a normal sized person or if you're small, I feel like it'll be fine to hop on and go take it for a cruise. When I was taking this for a ride, I never had any of the clamps come undone and break loose on me. So even though this bike can fold down really nicely, everything has secure latches, so I never feel like anything's loose, like the handlebar is loose or the frame or anything. Braking to me felt average. I actually felt like the brakes did a good job stopping the e-bike, but I personally like hydraulic brakes better. They just feel a little more comfortable to squeeze, so I was actually surprised that the brakes did a decent job stopping the e-bike, but they're not my preferred style of braking mechanism. Something that was a little bit unique though when I rode this is that each of the pedal assist levels, you can reach the top speeds on this e-bike. It didn't govern your speed and cap you at say like 10 miles an hour when you're in pedal assist level 1. If you pedaled harder, it's gonna give you more power and you're gonna reach your top speed. So that's something that I noticed with this, is it's actually easier to pedal faster if you want to, just by using your own strength, and then the motor will kick in and assist you. If you're in pedal assist level 1, it assists you a little bit. If you're in pedal assist level 2, it gives you more assistance, and then 3, it gives you the most assistance. So that was something unique about it, and I actually prefer that I can go fast or slow no matter what pedal assist level I'm in. Overall, I really don't have too much complaints with this e-bike. I actually took this with me up north to the Mackinac Bridge, and it was so nice and convenient to be able to just fold this up, put it in my car, take it out, unfold it, and then I was able to go travel and see so many different sites. Especially since it's an e-bike, I didn't get exhausted just being able to go sightseeing and exploring. So that was very handy, taking this foldable e-bike. I really enjoyed it. The one downside though about this e-bike is that since it's a more affordable e-bike, it also is lacking in some of the quality components that you might see on more expensive e-bikes. So for example, the brakes don't work that great, and the suspension is just so-so, and it's just a little bit smaller of an e-bike, so you're gonna notice that when you're riding it. But if you just want to use it to go camping, go explore, I feel like this is a great option for you. So those are my thoughts about this. Let me know in the comment section if this is something you're interested in or might consider getting for yourself. And that's about it. I'll catch you at another one. Bye.